during 24 hours of magnificent but futile charges against a small cohort of disciplined English archers. At Valley Forge, Gettysburg, Kasserine Pass, Porkchop Hill, the Adrang Valley, and Desert Storm, young Americans, black and white, rich and poor, our nobility, were prepared to do the same out of love for family, country, friends, and the army, and far too many died in the effort. Myrer helps us understand why. He also helps us understand that for the military leader under fire on the field of battle, physical stamina and personal valor are important, and that, when arguing strategy at the national level, mental toughness and courage of conviction are needed. In both circumstances, strength of character and professional competence are indispensable. A charismatic personality, while very useful, is not at all a necessary attribute. While the nature and character of the nation-state continue to evolve, the role of the soldier in a free society is quite constant. For Americans, the people created a state and delegated to its elected leaders the power and authority to act in the common good. The soldier remains the servant of that state and of the people's elected representatives. Once an eagle builds solidly on that principle. Anton Myrer invokes his narrative power to map the paradoxes of modern military life. Military service is a profession so steeped in tradition that we often not only keep the lamp lit but worship the ashes. Yet important technological change has had and will continue to have its alpha and its omega in the armed forces. Aircraft, rocket propulsion, rapid communications, electronic computers, and nuclear weapons are a few examples. This is a hierarchical system. Although about one-third of the officer corps got its start with a political appointment to one of our country's superb military academies, the armed forces are also the equal opportunity school of the nation, providing upward mobility to the likes of Sam Damon, Myrer's hero, and others, including me with battlefield commissions. ROTC graduates from our diverse college and university system and officer candidate school graduates provide more leaven to the force. The counts and the no accounts who can qualify all have the opportunity to serve the nation. This is a stick-in-the-mud environment where social changes are rare and painful, and yet it is the cauldron of choice for rapid social change. With all their public imperfections and tasks remaining to be done, the armed forces did open the segregation door and are lifting the glass ceiling. Philip Sheridan said that the profession of arms was too full of blind chance to be worthy of a first-class calling. Others have degraded the professional soldier as a Prussianized automaton, guzzling whiskey, scheming over the budget, and planning nuclear Armageddon. Once an Eagle portrays the profession as containing some martinets, a few of whom succeed, but the armed forces of Once an Eagle and the one I served in contained far more sober, conscientious, ethical, and competent leaders who, while sometimes troubled by their political masters, remained committed to their nation, their troops, and their families. General Sam Damon has much to say to us today and into the next century, but what he said to his son during a period of great stress applies to most of us most of the time and describes in one sentence what an officer should be. You can't help what you were born, and you may not have much to say about where you die, but you can and you should try to pass the days in between as a good man. Once an Eagle is both a perceptive study of the profession of arms and a chilling overview of armed conflict. Sam Damon carried men forward by the force of his own ardor. Young Americans who can emulate Sam Damon will be required if this nation is to remain free and at peace. Albert Schweitzer advised, "I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know, the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who have sought and found how to serve." And General Robert E. Lee wrote, "Duty is the sublimest word in the language. You can never do more than your duty. You should never wish to do less." In this book, Anton Myrer not only entertains us with a lively and engrossing story, he helps contribute to the nation's effort to ensure that a sufficiency of young men and women will consider the armed forces as their vehicle for service to the nation and the discharge of their duty to fellow human beings. The nation's ability to remain free and at peace depends in no small measure on whether we will continue to inspire our youth to serve. John W. Vesey, Jr., General, U.S. Army, retired. Part 1. Orchard.